Question. Before you leave a parking space which is parallel to the curb, you should. Option number 1. Sound your horn. Option number 2. Turn on your four-way flasher. Option number 3. Look for traffic by turning your head. Option number 4. Look for traffic by using your inside rear view mirror. The answer is option number 3. Look for traffic by turning your head. Note: before you enter safely into traffic from a parallel parking, turn your head to look for traffic. Use your interior rear view mirror to help keep an eye on hazards behind your vehicle. Signal your intentions to move from your parking space into traffic. Check your side mirrors for oncoming vehicles and other highway users. Question. A no stopping sign means that unless directed to do so by a policeman, you may stop only. Option number 1. Long enough to unload packages. Option number 2. To avoid conflict with other traffic. Option number 3. To discharge passengers. Option number 4. For less than 5 minutes. The answer is option number 2. To avoid conflict with other traffic. Note: a no stopping sign means you can only stop to obey a traffic sign, signal or officer or to prevent conflicts with other vehicles. Question. Assuming that the street is level, what should you do after you have finished parallel parking in a space between two other cars? Option number 1. Leave your front wheels turned towards the curb. Option number 2. Make sure your car almost touches the car behind you. Option number 3. Move as far forward in the space as possible. Option number 4. Straighten your front wheels and leave room between cars. The answer is option number 4. Straighten your front wheels and leave room between cars. Note: in a level street, after you finish parallel parking, bring your wheels straight and allow room for the vehicles ahead and behind you. In your final parking position, your wheels must be no more than 1 foot 30 cm from the curb. Question. A no parking sign at a certain location means. Option number 1. You may never stop your vehicle there. Option number 2. You may stop temporarily to load or unload passengers. Option number 3. You may park there if the driver remains in the vehicle. Option number 4. You may leave your vehicle unattended for less than 5 minutes. The answer is option number 2. You may stop temporarily to load or unload passengers. Note: a no parking sign means you can make a temporary stop to load or discharge merchandise or passengers. Question. You may never park. Option number 1. On a one-way street. Option number 2. At the entrance of a building. Option number 3. In a crosswalk. Option number 4. Within 50 feet of a fire hydrant. The answer is option number 3. In a crosswalk. Note: you cannot park, stop or stand on a sidewalk or in a crosswalk within 15 feet 5 meters of a fire hydrant, on the roadside of a parked vehicle, in an intersection unless permitted by signs, on railroad tracks, on a bridge or in a tunnel, next to or opposite road work, construction or other obstructions. Question. In a parking space reserved for people with disabilities, a non-disabled driver. Option number 1. May park in an emergency. Option number 2. May not park but stop in an emergency. Option number 3. May not park or stop but may stand in an emergency. Option number 4. May neither park, stop or stand. The answer is option number 4. May neither park, stop nor stand. Note: it is illegal for any vehicle to park, stop or stand in a space reserved for people with disabilities unless it has vehicle plates for people with disabilities issued by the DMV, New York, or a similar plate or permit issued by another state. Question: if you are parked parallel to the curb, you may get out of the car on the traffic side. Option number 1. During the daytime when other drivers can see you. Option number 2. When the traffic light at the closest intersection turns red. Option number 3. When you won't interfere with oncoming vehicles. Option number 4. If you use your four-way flasher first. The answer is option number 3. When you won't interfere with oncoming vehicles. Note: after parking, remember that you must not open the door on the roadside if it will interfere with bicyclists and other traffic. Question: a driver may park in a space reserved for people with disabilities if the vehicle displays license plates for the disabled. Option number 1. Regardless of who is in the vehicle. Option number 2. Only if the driver is disabled. Option number 3. And is carrying a disabled person named on the registration. Option number 4. If someone in the driver's immediate family is disabled. The answer is option number 3. And is carrying a disabled person named on the registration. Note: you can park in reserved spaces only if you have a permit or vehicle plates for persons with disabilities and only when the person who received the permit or vehicle plates is in the vehicle. Question: a no standing sign at a certain location means. Option number 1. You may never stop your vehicle there. Option number 2. You may park there if the driver remains in the vehicle. Option number 3. You may stop temporarily to pick up or discharge passengers. Option number 4. You may stop to load or unload merchandise. The answer is option number 3. You may stop temporarily to pick up or discharge passengers. Note: a no standing sign means you can make a temporary stop to load or discharge passengers. The driver cannot exit the vehicle. Question: can you park in these spaces with diagonal stripes next to reserved parking areas? Option number 1. Yes, you are carrying a disabled person and the reserved parking is already occupied. Option number 2. Yes, only if the driver is disabled. Option number 3. Yes, under emergency. Option number 4. No, neither park, stop nor stand. The answer is option number 4. No, neither park, stop nor stand. Note: do not park in the spaces with diagonal stripes next to reserved parking areas. These spaces are needed to give access to those with wheelchairs and vehicles with special equipment. Question: while you park on a hill, make sure to. Option number 1. Set your parking brake. Option number 2. Put the transmission in park or first gear. Option number 3. Turn the wheels towards the curb or side of the road. Option number 4. All of the above. The answer is option number 4. All of the above. Question: which way do you turn your front wheels to park downhill next to a curb? Option number 1. Into the curb. Option number 2. Away from the curb. Option number 3. Parallel to the curb. Option number 4. Any of the above. The answer is option number 1. Into the curb. Note: when parking downhill next to a curb, turn the wheels towards the curb so that it will keep your vehicle from heading into traffic. Question: which way do you turn your front wheels to park uphill next to a curb? Option number 1. Into the curb. Option number 2. Away from the curb. Option number 3. Parallel to the curb. Option number 4. Any of the above. The answer is option number 2. Away from the curb. Note: when parking downhill next to a curb, turn the wheels towards the side of the road so that it will keep your vehicle from heading into traffic. Question: when parking next to a curb, how much far your vehicle wheels can be from the curb? Option number 1. No more than half foot 15 cm. Option number 2. No more than 1 foot 30 cm. Option number 3. No more than 2 foot 60 cm. Option number 4. No more than 3 foot 90 cm. The answer is option number 2. No more than 1 foot 30 cm. Note: in your final parking position, your wheels must be no more than 1 foot 30 cm from the curb.